Hey everybody, I'm Art Alexakis. I'm in the band Everclear. May the rock be with you. How's
Well,
it going?
it's good, man. And welcome to May the Rock be with you, mate. It's always great to have you back in Australia.
Awesome. Always
Yeah.
good to be here.
Now, it's been
Nice
about
to have a
four
couple of
years.
days off.
Oh, a couple of days off before the next one.
Yeah, it's like we're doing Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then we got oh, something like that. We got 3 days off, 4 days on.
Okay.
So we start up day after tomorrow, I think.
Nice. Now, it has been about 4 years since we last spoke. So let's do a quick
Mhm.
catch up. How have the last 4 years been for you?
Well, um, considering we spoke right before the whole world stopped in its axis for about a year and a half.
Yep.
Um, it's been better. It got really bad there for a while.
Yeah.
Um, excuse me. We almost got we almost got stuck in Australia in 2020.
Yeah.
We left Australia 3 days before they shut the door here, and we wouldn't have got out.
Wow.
And I got kids. That would have sucked.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was it the 2020 was hard on everybody and different and then I caught COVID in 2021
Mm.
and I know we spoke about it before. I have MS and I was diagnosed in 2016
Yep.
and getting COVID was hard on the MS. It progressed it to a certain extent. So I'm dealing with that, but still out there plugging away.
Exactly. That's perfect. And we're, of course, here because you are in Australia currently on an acoustic tour. So, how have the shows been going?
They've been going great. The enthusiasm and the sing along and the excitement has just been great.
Awesome. Now, I haven't delved into set lists because I'm always curious to go and see it myself. But how do you put these shows together? Like, can you fill us in on how these shows work for someone that hasn't seen them?
Well, basically, I come out and I just play Everclear songs pretty much. I might throw a solo song in here and there, and I do about an hour,
Hmm.
and I tell stories behind the songs, and then I leave for about 5 minutes, come back out, and then I take requests from people. Freddie, the bass player of Everclear, is on the road with me and helping me doing tech stuff, but he uh, he also is kind of the unofficial MC, and he's got a wireless mic, and he's out in the crowd, and he takes questions from people. And sometimes they're just like, "Hey, we played this song, blah blah blah," and a lot of times I'll say no because I don't want to play that song. So my crew calls it the surly jukebox because it's like you're gonna it's not a nice jukebox. You don't know what you're gonna get, but it's just fun.
Yeah.
We're just taking the piss out of each other. It's fun, and then but a lot of the questions, man, it just last couple nights have been really intense and good, and
Okay.
about songs and about process and inspiration and just stuff like that.
Great.
So I really enjoy doing it, and it's just me up there with a guitar. There's no big bands or guitars or loud guitars or drums to hide behind. You're kind of naked up there, and to me it comes full circle because all the songs are written like this, right? This is how they started, and
Yep.
I think it's exciting for people to see what that's like and where it is now.
I was going to ask that because when you do a show like this and playing the songs this way, are there some that don't lend themselves to an acoustic solo you would have loved to include?
Well, yeah, we have a song that's a huge fan favorite and even kind of a minor hit in the States and does well all over the world. It's called AM Radio.
Hmm.
And that's I did that song on purpose with loops, right? We did loops of a old classic R&B song and put horns and all sorts of stuff on top of it. So just me and a guitar sounds kind of stupid if you ask me.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Fair enough.
people always ask me to do it, so I'll do a verse and a chorus.
Okay. There are
just for
two
fun.
that I'd love to hear, and I don't know if you will. One of them is Heart Spark Dollar Sign. Do you do that one?
Absolutely every night.
One of my favorites. And do you ever do Volvo Driving Soccer Mom?
You know, no one's asked for it, but I would. Wait a minute, did someone ask for it the first night? Yeah, I think someone did.
Hmm.
Like on the Gold Coast, I think someone asked for it, and during the request, and I'll put some of that. Sure, why not?
Well, in Sydney, just
Yeah.
in a week or so, a couple of weeks.
You gonna be at the Crowbar?
I am. Yeah.
Man, did you go last? So did you see us last year when we were here?
I missed it. I was away. I was spewing.
Yeah,
But
man. Wow, that sounds awesome. But it was so hot last year in
mm.
the Crowbar. One of the hottest shows I've ever played in my life. And but this year I don't think it's going to be that hot because you're not going to have it. 800 people jumping around. It's
You
it's
wouldn't think
going to
so.
be yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a little cooler for
Yeah.
sure.
I think we're right. Now, other side of that sort of thing, when you tell the stories behind the songs, have you ever had anyone come up to you and say, no way, I actually thought that was about something different, their interpretation of the songs?
Always. I
Yeah.
maybe not always, but very often for sure. Yeah, people are like, well, or even in interviews while I've been down here, people are like, well, Santa Monica is obviously about this and this and this that happened to you, and I'm like, no, it's not, and that didn't happen to me. I don't know where you got that, but no, songs in different ways. I try not to write with the same process every time because then your songs start sounding a lot alike. And
Mm.
with my vocals and my guitar playing, it sounds like me, right? It's not going to sound like Joni Mitchell. I'd
Yeah.
love to sound like Joni Mitchell, but I don't for many, many reasons. One, I'm a man. Um, but, you know, I write songs from three different perspectives. They're either autobiographical, like Father of Mine, I'll Buy You a New Life, songs like that, or songs like Santa Monica and Everything to Everyone, where I'll take things from my life, but I'll take different things from this incident and this incident and this incident and this person, and I'll create a character and a storyline from that. And then some songs, about another third of the songs, man, it's just write songs. I just come up with a story.
Yep.
And, you know, and if I can do that and you can't tell the difference, which is often the case, then I'm doing my job as a writer, right?
Yep. Perfect. I love
Yeah.
this. I look forward to it. I look forward to hearing these stories.
Thanks, man. It's going to be fun.
Yeah. Now, you basically live here. It's your second home in Australia, so you've been here a million times. Do you have one particular memory that stands out that you love more than any?
That I can share.
Yeah. In this time slot?
Yeah. Well, let me think about that. You know, um, I have had so much just enjoyable situations and yes, I can. So when we first came here, we had a hit with Santa Monica in the States and Canada and everywhere that's English speaking. But we hadn't been to Australia. We knew it was doing well here.
Mm.
And Heroin Girl was a hit, big, big hit on Triple J. I think it even kind of crossed over a little bit to Triple M, but Santa Monica definitely did. So by the time we get here, um, I forget when it was. It would have been your winter, uh, like July or June, July, August, somewhere like that. And we get here, and they won't let us off the plane because they said anywhere between 500 and 1,000 kids in the airport with signs like the Beatles.
Wow.
And I'm just like, what is wrong with these people? We're not that good. But it was really amazing to see that and to experience that. And playing all the festivals we have, playing Livid was amazing. Um, I we just I love Australia. I mean, it's one of the few places in the world that, for the most part, likes American people and culture.
Yeah,
You know,
just a little bit.
hello. Well, maybe for you, you old crusty guy with your beard. But I don't know. The girls used to really like America, really like us back in the '90s. But these days, I'm kind of a grandpa, so I don't even know what that's about.
Yeah, no,
But
we love Americans.
I, but see, the thing is, and I liken this to like New Zealand is tea culture. They're much more Ponzi. They're much more like Brits than you guys are
Mm.
because they were a settlement. They were a colony. You guys were a prison, and you guys still have that edge. You go down, but you also have manners and your politeness and you're friendly. So much more friendly than America here. But I you guys are coffee culture. You're coffee, the more coffee culture than tea. Would you agree?
I think so. Yes, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And man, you have phenomenal coffee. And but I would never get a hamburger in England or New Zealand or South Africa, but I would get a hamburger here for sure
I like that.
because you guys get it. You guys get the hamburger. Most people in the world try to make a hamburger, they don't know what the hell they're doing. They just
I
don't.
love I like our burgers. Now, let's look at things on your list of things you'd love to do as an artist. Is there anything you haven't yet done that you'd love to?
Oh, there's a few venues I'd like to play in the States, like Red Rocks. I've never played
Mm.
Red Rocks. The Los Angeles Forum. I grew up going to a lot of concerts there, and I never played there. Um, but as an artist, man, I've done just about everything I want to do.
Good.
You know, I'm pretty good. I'm grateful. I mean, I would love to work with other people again, and maybe someone really different, and just do something outside of left field because I like a lot of experimental music. I love rock and roll is my favorite thing in the world. You know, any kind of rock, guitar, bass, and drums, rock and roll. But I like other stuff as well. So it'd be fun to do that. What I am doing now, what I'm working towards is I'm a and it'll never take the place of music, but it'll augment it is being a life coach for creative people, for people who work. I say creative people, people who work in the creative industries. And because that's all I've done for the last 35, 40 years.
Mm.
So, and just working with people. It's not a therapist. It's coaching is a different thing. It's working with people to get over plateaus, to get over um, things that are holding them back and to also achieve, coachable goals. And it's something that I really, really like doing. And also, I'm in the midst of writing a book, a memoir. So
Nice.
we'll see.
I was going to ask what's next. New music coming as well, or are we focusing on the book and the other thing?
I don't feel like making, I don't think we're going to make any more records, but every year we put out a new song or two. We put out a live album
Mm.
in October, live at the Whiskey A Go Go,
It's
that
great.
basically celebrated the 30th anniversary. Thanks.
Mm.
And there's a couple of new tracks on that, and there'll be a couple of new tracks later in the year. Next year, 2025 is the 30th anniversary of Sparkle and Fade, so we'll be doing a 30th anniversary remaster. Uh, uh, Bonus tracks that people have never heard before from deep in the vaults, and we'll be touring on it. So we'll probably right now the plan is to come back to Australia with Everclear, uh, like November of 25.
Okay, looking forward to that. I'll definitely be at that too because I love that record. Everyone loves that record. What are you talking about? Like the
Yeah.
Beatles with that record.
Well, you are Australian. Let's keep that in perspective here.
Now, over time, you've
The
been doing this
Beatles.
for a long time, like you said. It's very easy to say what can change over time, but what for you is the one thing that's always remained the same about what you do?
About what I do, you
Hmm.
mean like live?
Oh,
In
music,
what?
life. What is the one thing that's remained constant for you?
Um, I trust myself and the inner voice in my head, which oftentimes sounds like my mother. I was raised by a single mom, and just keeping that her voice and perspective of what she would think is the right thing. And we didn't agree on everything, you know, she's my mom, but man, that woman loved me fiercely from the moment I was born to the moment she died. And when someone loves you like that, pretty unconditionally, it creates trust. It should create trust. And to have someone like that where you know that's a safe place to go. And even when they tell you things you don't want to hear,
Mm.
it's wonderful to have that. So I think being able to, that's the one thing that's been a constant, is just my belief in myself, which came from my mom.
Okay,
A
beautiful.
large
Great
part of
answer.
it.
I love that. Now, the one question I always like asking is, I wish I wrote it. Is there one song in the world you wish you wrote, and what would that be and why?
I would never tell it. But yeah, there's several songs. You'll never hear it
All
from me.
right. All right. Well, I'll allow you to do that because you're
And
awesome. So.
let me see. Is there one I could share? Um, uh, Even though now it's kind of creepy, um, the Police
Every breath you
song,
take.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that, do a lot of people say that?
No, it's just such a good song. And as soon as you said creepy, I knew what you meant.
Well, it's creepy now, you know,
Mm,
post Me Too, right?
mm,
But it's like back when it came out, I was like, and I was a punk rocker, and but when I heard that song, I'm like, that might be the most perfect pop song I've ever heard in my life. I mean, even more so than a Beatles. And it all, I don't know if Sting has the wherewithal because he seems pretty pompous and pretentious. I don't know if he'd be able to say it, but it all goes back to the Beatles, man,
mm.
when it comes to pop songwriting. But that song is pretty flawless.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind having the royalties for that song. How
Yeah.
about that?
Tell me about it. That's a good choice. I like that. We'll go with that one. Now, the music
Right.
industry is such a different place now from when you first started making music. What do you see as the best change and the worst change to happen to music that you've witnessed over the years?
Um, the best change to music and the worst change to music sampling.
Mm,
I think that's, uh, I mean, I won't call it file sharing because it's not file sharing, it's stealing. But if you monetize it, as it was for a few years in the early aughts, in like the early 2000s, um, uh, bands made a good living from it, you know, from getting things spun, and but then with the advent, uh, and the corporations came back, the labels came back and created these things called Spotify and whatever, Pandora and whatever. Um, Now we're back to being basically serfs and slaves again, and we get paid like it,
mm,
from those things. I don't know any working musician, real working musician that creates music and has sold music, that listens to streaming music, that does it. Why would you do it? These people are stealing what we do for a living.
mm.
We're not trying to get rich. We're trying to make a living, and that's what we do. And I most people are unaware. They think people are getting paid. We're paying $10 a month. Sure, half of that is going to the artist, right?
Yeah.
Not even. When my last record, the last record Everclear put out, um, Black is the New Black, came out in 2015. Um, we streamed the first week 2.8 million copies of the record, streamed it, right? Full copies of the record. Um, I made $642 from that.
Wow. Okay.
You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's it's like a bludgeon, man.
Yeah.
It's just disrespectful. But at the same time, it it's one of the best things, being able to just get any music I want from any era is amazing.
Mm,
I just wish it paid the artist too. the guys doing it can make some money. Everybody can make some money. It's just greed that
Mm,
keeps it from happening. And so I think it's the best and the worst thing.
okay. Well, the vinyl resurgence has been huge. A lot of people are buying physical media again, which is phenomenal. And, that's something
It's
that's
true.
like,
It's true. But it gets a lot of people talk about it a lot and it gets a lot of views. But the reality of it, of what look at the numbers. It's
mm,
like digital vinyl.
yeah.
Way down there. It's like less than 3%.
Well, let's
So
let's let's see how we go. We'll try and get up a little bit higher, maybe one day.
never,
No, I know. I'm
never.
just being optimistic.
I know. I like your optimism,
But oh well.
but
So,
yeah.
lastly, let's look ahead to the future. Because I always like to do this with a prediction. I want you to finish this sentence for me. By the end of 2024, Art Alexakis will
Be alive
good.
and
That's
not in a wheelchair. How about that? Be
great.
alive and not in a wheelchair.
Beautiful. Let's do that. I love that. That's a great answer. Art, as a pleasure as always to talk to you. I can't wait to see you on the 23rd at the Crowbar. It's going to be an amazing night.
Awesome, man. Look forward to seeing you there. Come say
Thanks,
hi
man.
if you get a chance.
I will do. Good to see you. Talk to you soon.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye bye.